Hello everybody, this is Patrick and welcome to another edition of my vlog. I just want to check in with you while we are all getting used to remote working. I have a few things I want to say. I have some updates I want to give you, and then I want to talk about work from home tips to get us all acclimated to our new reality, at least for the next couple of months. So, let me get started. First, I just want to thank you. I know this situation is not ideal, and we are all getting used to the new circumstances and getting used to remote working, and we're concerned about our students and the college and, quite frankly, our community and families. First, thank you for all that you're doing, thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for your dedication to the college. We will get through this. Dr. Jackson, Jenny Towner, the other vice presidents and leaders across campus, including many of you and all of you, will help us get through this situation, will help us move forward. We may not have the answers to everything, and there may be things that fall through the crack. And I know that's unfortunate, and I know as professionals we all want what is very best for our students. But it will be okay. We will do our best, we will serve our students and community well, and we will get through this. So please, just know that we all appreciate what you're doing. We all know that it's going to take some time to get used to this new reality, and we know that we'll do it together. So thank you. We appreciate you. And as a way to continue to stay connected through this remote work situation, I'm going to do weekly vlog videos. I know we've been trying to find a good schedule for these types of announcements, and I think now is a great time to start them and to get in the habit of producing them regularly. So if you have any questions or topics or things that you would like to see addressed in one of these vlogs, please let me know. You can email me, call me, or use the submission, idea submission link, which is somewhere over on the side of your screen. I sure hope I pointed the right way. So let me get into a few updates that have progressed over the last couple of days. By now you have all heard and read Dr. Jackson's announcement that the college will stay closed to face-to-face activities through at least May 16th. We're online only. As a result of that, here's a few updates that it's important to know. First, we're going to move registration from April 1st to April 6th. Starting on April 6th, we will begin the priority registration, and by April 8th, we'll have open registration for all students. This extra week is going to give us time to plan for the remote-only, no in-person registration process and communicate the expectations to students. If you have any questions or feedback, please follow up with Courtney Mitchell or Sam Saunders-Consoro. We also are looking for ways to support students who may not be successful in an online learning environment. Because of that, we've decided to extend the incomplete policy to give students more time and to make it a little bit more lenient and liberal in how it's applied. Courtney Mitchell is working through that with the academic deans to come up with a plan, and more information will be communicated as soon as possible. Again, we know that every solution won't be perfect, and some of these options may have consequences, and we're trying to work through them and plan for everything that we can, but we all know that we all have to just make things work, and some of these changes will have to be a little fluid to help support students in their unique circumstances. We also have decided to extend the withdrawal and refund deadlines for Term 2 transition, and probably the third 5 weeks of classes. Courtney and Sam are updating the grid, and we'll send that out shortly for everyone to review. But basically we're trying to add a week to everything, at least now, and if things change, we may extend that as needed as well. I know there's a lot of questions about access to campus. Because of the governor's directive to limit face-to-face operations, close non-essential activities, and not congregate in groups of 10, we're trying to come up with plans to allow access to campus to small numbers of individuals on an as-needed and high-priority basis. First, Dr. Jackson has received guidance from our legal counsel and Secretary Fielder from the Maryland Department of Education that Hartford Community College most certainly is an essential business and can stay open, but we also need to limit the face-to-face operations, which is why we're doing the online working and learning environment. So we'll soon come up with a plan to allow those who need access to campus access to their area for a very limited period in time and controlled period of time. For example, right now we're looking at options to maybe have staff in the Student Center on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to get the mail and do some scanning work. At that time also, if people need to get things out of their office or pick up stuff, we can make that work. If you have a need to access campus, please talk to your director immediately so they may compile a list and share that with Jenny, who's working with Public Safety and Trevor Jackson to finalize these plans. But the goal really is to keep people off campus and have people working at home and staying at home so we can practice good social distancing measures. One of the reasons we're also limiting access to campus is because our cleaning staff has been going through and cleaning areas that people have visited, so knowing where people are going and limiting that to a small area is very important to keep up with the cleaning and sanitation practices. We also are working on staffing plans. Initially, we were planning just to be remote working this week, but as we have talked about, that's changed. So I know you may have a lot of questions about your job and what you can do while you're working from home. I know everyone has been working hard on this and there's been several conversations. Please continue to talk to your supervisor and your director to work out what you can be doing. We're also talking amongst the student affairs, institutional effectiveness leaders about how we can share resources. For example, as registration opens up on the 6th and records and registration gets busy, maybe we can pool some resources from other areas to support that. And really, just be flexible to meet the needs of the college. Again, I appreciate all your hard work and dedication. I'm going to ask you to continue to be flexible, willing to do some new things in the spirit of supporting the college and supporting our students, and we'll do what we can to get through this and to keep everyone working towards supporting our mission. I've also talked to several of my direct reports about looking at what projects we can work on during this remote period. Also, this is a great time to start working on professional development. If you haven't spent your professional development dollars this year, or even if you have and there's other things you can be working on, come up with a plan to be using this time to learn a new skill, brush up on some things, and really building yourself and growing so you may continue to support the needs of the college and grow in your career. That'd be a great opportunity. Just a few more updates for you. One, we're not sure that we can support in-person placement testing, acupuncture testing in the test center because of the restrictions and the health risks. So we are investigating ways to make that happen. One idea that is being looked at right now is to create some sort of self-guided internal assessment that's not exam-based, but maybe more reflection-based, or submit work and have it reviewed by faculty. I've asked Ruby to work with Dean Abramovitz and Dean Pape Lindstrom to investigate these ideas, and as they have time to talk them through, I'm sure Ruby or I will share additional information with you. Sam and Courtney are working on being able to support the appeals process for course substitutions, late withdrawals, etc. via email. They'll continue to work through that with the deans, and things will be communicated, but we want to keep that process open and working for students. We also have a meeting with Chris Fisk on Thursday to talk about the refund process. Obviously, students are very concerned and anxious about what's going on, so we want to do whatever we can to make sure there's a clear and easy to follow refund and credit process. So I'll ask the refund exception committee, which Courtney and Sam are on, and Sue, to lead the effort to communicate what that looks like. But again, we're trying to be as supportive for students as possible. Lastly, in terms of updates, I'm happy to say that Financial aid has been working with the Department of Education and their updated guidelines, and we're able to continue to pay federal work-study students during this period. Federal work-study students will be able to still receive their regularly budgeted pay whether or not they're able to work from home or not. So that's the good news there. And likewise, we're committed to our staff. We'll continue to work with the staff to be able to work in whatever way they can from home. But we're all very fortunate to have jobs that will continue to pay us through this pandemic. There currently is no discussions of layoffs, no discussions of hiring freezes. We really are trying to work through this period of a couple of months and hit the ground running and be ready to resume operations on May 16th. So, students, faculty, and staff, their well-being, their longevity continue to be a top priority for Dr. Jackson, the leadership team, myself, Jenny, so please be assured there. Before I wrap up, I recognize that because we're so new at working from home, this may be for many of us our first opportunity with remote work, that there's some tips for you to help you get used to this environment. So these are tips that I've read from some blogs and also tips that I've learned from myself. So let me just go through them one by one. So first, set a schedule and stick to it. When you are working in the student center or wherever you're working on campus, you typically have a schedule. That's important for home as well. And it's a good idea to create transition time. Normally we have our commute to and from campus to, get geared up for the day or to kind of let the day go and prepare for home life. Find ways to transition to and from work at home. For example, I've been starting to jog in the morning just so I can get those endorphins pumping, have some high energy, and also prepare myself for the workday. If you can, and I know this is challenging because a lot of us are home with our family and children, including mine. They're in the room with me right now. Find a dedicated workspace. If you have a room or a spot in a room that you can set up and work from, please do that. That will again help prepare you mentally for work. As you can see, I'm wearing my Harford polo today. Dress for work. As we get used to remote work, you may be asked to join a Teams meeting or another video conference and people can see you. So let's portray that professional image and the image of the college even when we are working from home. And then lastly, I would say familiarize yourself with the technology. If you haven't learned Teams yet, go ahead and go to office.harford.edu and access it. If you don't know what OneNote is, that's a note application that you can use. OneDrive is a Microsoft application to store files and share files over the cloud. There are some training materials on OwlNet. ITS does occasionally offer trainings on them, but you can also find videos on YouTube or other sites. If you have a Harford County Public Library card, you can get free access to lynda.com, which has great technical training videos, and learn a lot about Office and other things. But as I said, this is new to all of us, and we'll get through it. So hug your kids, be safe with your family, and really hang in there. If there's anything you need from me, please let me know. You can email me, call me, you can submit a suggestion. Okay, thank you. You can submit a suggestion to the box. I'm here to help and support you. Thank you for all that you do. I'm going to wrap this video up for now, but I'll be back sometime next week with an update. Thank you very much and have a great day.